going? Oh, okay, I'm gonna wait a minute. Make sure everything is going good. Okay, it is going. This isn't what I wanted to show, but it's there. Okay. So we're gonna start this over and try this again. Let me tell everybody. Okay, we are back. Let me get the link. YouTube. So what we're going to be going over is okay. We're going to be going over is this nice little thing. Let me move that over in OBS some because it looks off. What is it missing? Oh, it's missing the data over here. Okay. All right. So this map represents the children in single-parent households. And the point of this video is to show that the Democrats do not care about the people in the United States. And we're going to use black people as the basis of this argument. The voting bloc that tends to vote for Democrats the most. We've got the bottom 10, which we're not going to go over because it doesn't matter, because you can look at these places and mostly tell that they are either low population, like Loving County is, or that they're like, it's in Nebraska, South Dakota, Kansas, and Texas. You could have quite a few black people there, but as we'll see when I pull up another map, it's not going to be the case. So we have this belt right here, which those of you who are familiar with demographics know this as the black belt. Essentially, this is where the majority of the black people in the United States live. And that's just how it is, right in here. And it goes all the way up to here about-ish, roughly. You also have high concentrations in here, and that's another demographic as well that also tends to vote Democrat. But I want to focus in on this because I've got some good numbers for this. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over each county in this top 10 list, including Loving County, although it's an outlier, because 100% is just silly. And we're going to go over what exactly the demographics are of each county and how they voted. And we're going to see something pretty shocking. I think it was shocking. So, I'll start with Loving County. It's got 134 people. Oh, okay. And it is predominantly white. Of the 67 residents in 2000, 60 were white. Okay. And, yeah, they voted Republican predominantly. Except for back here. And you'll also find that, like, this is it. This is, like, the one in the list. It's an outlier anyway because it's got a low population, 134. That's the second least populous county in the United States. And it's like, that's kind of it. It's irrelevant, almost. But it's there. You can see it. That's the statistics of it. 100%. 100% single parent. And it's got everybody's pretty much white. Okay, going on to Stewart County. So this has a population of 6,000. And its statistics are 47.3% black, 28% white, 7 Asian, 2% Indian, 28% other races, 22.8% other races, okay. And they tend to vote Democrat. And, except for a couple times, obviously, but predominantly Democrat, 1/3 party. And we'll see a couple of third parties and a couple in this area where they voted for Republican. But most of these tend to be that way. Here's Northampton County in North Carolina. They've got a population of 22,000. And they are 58% black, 58% black, 40% white, and the rest are kind of sprinkled there. And they've voted predominantly Democrat. As a matter of fact, they've only voted Democrat. Here's Holmes County, Mississippi. And they've got a population of about 20,000 or so. And make sure we're still going. Okay, cool. Oh, and the demographics are 83.4% black. That was in 1970. 2000, it was 78.66. So it's decreased a little bit, but about the same. And they voted Democrat, except for once here, and then a couple times third party. And that's about it. There's no great flip. That's another point, too. There was no real great flip on how they voted. Todd County, South Dakota. The 2010 census, they were 88.1% American Indian. This is the other outlier, but it's about the same. Democrats. By outlier, I mean they're still in the top 10 divorce rate, or a single parent rate, sorry, and they voted for Democrats almost the entire time through. Here is Bullitt County, Alabama, and they have a population. Oh, I'm sorry. The last population was about 10,000. Bullitt County is about 10,000 as well. In the 2010 census, they were 70% black, and they voted Democrat pretty much solidly all the way through, except for a couple, 3 times. Yeah. Here is Jefferson County, Mississippi, about 8,000 folks. The third least populous county in Mississippi, and they are 13% white, 85% black, 86%, whatever. And kind of the same deal all the way through. A couple times. And yeah. So go to Claiborne County, Mississippi, and it's about 10,000 folks. Demographics. So we've got 84% were black, and the voting is about the same. Pretty much all the way through, except for here and there, and that's about it. And here's Dallas County, Alabama. Their population is 43,000, 44,000. Their demographics are 69.4% black, and they voted Democrat predominantly. Now, except for in here, where they voted GOP. And I betcha in this area there was increase of probably white population, because that kind of went there. I could be wrong with that. I don't know. Maybe they were, I don't know. It's odd that this did not a single vote. LaFleur County, Mississippi, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. About 33,000, 32,000 population. The demographics are 72% black, and it's pretty much the same deal. Yeah, you can see a couple times where they voted Republican, a little bit more than others. But the other thing of note I wanted to point out here is LaFleur, where was it? LaFleur County, which is still largely rural, is noted for having the highest level of child poverty of any county in the United States. So the point of all this is that when you look at the states, and Mississippi was highly represented here, the percentage of households led by a single mother with children under the age of 18, Mississippi is the highest in Louisiana, and then District of Columbia, and then Texas, and Kentucky, Arkansas, and it kind of goes down from here. And yeah, so and then here's the other thing too. The number of black families with a single mother from 1990 to 2016, as far back as the data really goes, it slightly went up. This is, per 1,000. Not per 1,000. Like each one of these represents 1,000, so that'd be, what is that? 4,213,000. So it rose a little bit in the 90s and then kind of stayed there, pretty steady since then. And judging by, outside of this one, judging by all of these, it's not doing too good, right? It's not. That's not a good number. It's the highest. Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? It's the highest in the United States by leaps and bounds. So here's another thing I want to bring attention to is that the majority of children in the United States do live with two parents, which is like but close to 70%. That's pretty good. And yeah, you can kind of read this if you want to. If you look back, you can find it. If you type in like majority of, just type in that in Google, you could read it. But sort of the point I want to make is that the Democrat Party isn't helping you, and you can see this here. Like, it's not doing anything for you culturally, right? Like, throughout all this time, the single mother problem hasn't stopped. You know, crime hasn't really stopped. It's been about the same. Let's see here. What do I want to show? There's something I'm missing I want to show. Oh yeah, the maps. The maps. That's what I wanted to show. So let's do this. 1 second. And you can see, judged by these maps that I show you, so that's sort of what's going on. I'm going to show you first. I'm going to show you the so this is percentage of population identifying as both Black or African American and non-Hispanic, and this matches up a lot. Oops, wrong one. With this map right here. I think everything kind of side by side. Not like perfect. It's not 100% perfect, but you might notice some similarities between. Let me see if I can get this lined up right. On this part of the map, you know, some similarities, right? Right? So I think that's kind of a big deal. You know, when your population is 50, let's say 50 to 85% Black in areas, and you have the highest rate of single-parent households. And you know, one thing I didn't do. Let's look up. Let's see, violent crime rate map. You know, you can kind of see it here. Matter of fact, yeah, you can see it pretty well right here. See no data here, but you can clearly see that sort of band going on through. Like, let me juxtapose here and here. That same sort of band, right? Let's go, right? It's pretty close, you know, per 100,000 people, and so it's not like a ton of crime, because relatively speaking, the United States is just relatively low. But if you were to look at any place in the United States that has a lot of crime, it would be right in this band. So why would that be? Well, there's a couple of reasons why. And I have this PDF here that I want to show you guys. It's from the Census Bureau, and it's going to take me just 1 second to pull it up. Delete that. Yeah, that's fine. Window capture. Yeah. That's fine. No, that's not what I wanted. Whoops. Where the fuck is it? Not display capture. Is it display capture? No. Okay, we'll just do this then. No, that's not what I wanted. Oh, this is bad. Even I honestly don't know how to do this. Let me see if I can. It's not audio. It's not maybe it is a browser. Okay. Let's do this. Debug audio updaters. Annual select updates. What? Okay, that's not what I wanted. No, go away. Okay, I bet you if I do this, full screen that, and then do this, that might work. Let's see if that does it. It does! Alright. So here's the census brief, right? It's a... essentially what it says is that single parents, their children that had one parent make less money than those who have two parents. That's about it. That's all I wanted to show you. That's essentially it. Right? Okay. So with that, get rid of this. I want to go to my next point on why black people should walk away. And it's a real simple point. So, discard that. Alright. Sorry. Alright, so the big thing is, we'll go over three things. The first is that the DNC doesn't actually care about you, and I'm going to give you three examples. The first is this. This is how Hillary Clinton pandered to black people. It's like... This was just horrible. Like, here, I don't know if you guys can hear this. Yeah. Yeah, see this guy, I don't know if you guys heard of it. She's like, yeah, I carry hot sauce. And she's like, well, it's gonna, just want you to know that this is gonna make it sound like you're pandering to black people, and that's exactly it. And that's the sort of thing, you can also go with, the Hillary Clinton super predators quote, all that crap. Mostly true, yes. Yes. It's true. So, okay, that's one thing. Here's the other thing, too. She just won against an incumbent. Her name is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And just by existing, just by winning, the DNC chair has come out, and you can see that was today. Come out and said that she represents the future of our party. So what is she for? Well, she's a socialist, which if you're a socialist, whatever. But she's also for no borders. And there's really nothing in her policy that really improves black people's lives. Matter of fact, it seems like they just don't really care about black people. And judging by these numbers, I don't know if you guys can see that, yeah. Judging by these numbers, like, look at this, 70% single parent rate. Now, I'm not done. So let's follow through with this thought, right? So one of the biggest things that leads to crime, right, is we'll get to that in a second. Is no, that's not it. Where is it? Oh, why is this being difficult? Is it this? No, I thought I had it. Oh shit! I guess I closed. I'll have to look it up here in a second. Okay, so we'll start with this. Black unemployment falls to the lowest level on record. This is a Republican that did this. This is Donald Trump that did this. Now, I'm not telling you to vote Republican, but just take into consideration that under Donald Trump, black unemployment falls to the lowest level on record. And not only did it fall to the lowest level on record, but also the gap between whites and blacks decreased. Like for the first time ever, it's usually double, right? Like so, like say white unemployment is at 3%, right? Black unemployment would be at 6%, and now it's at like that, dude. And you can see it here, yeah. The gap was narrowed slightly. Like That's equality. That's true equality. And one of the things, there's a study done in Chicago, youth crime study, I think. Yeah, I've got this article to do. Okay, there's another one I have too, but this sums it up. Violent crime arrests dropped by 33% for program participants. And what this is they got a bunch of kids to work in the summer for like 25 hours a week. Yep. And reduced the violent crime arrests for participants by 33%. 33%. Just by working 25 hours a week. Consider that, right? That just by having a job, you are 33% less likely to commit a violent crime. Now, it did say that there was no statistical difference between, let's see, Science Mag, between those who, so this one, oh, no, there it is. No, this one. No statistical difference between those, for like property crimes, stuff like that, like theft. But for violent crime, there's a big one. So that also means that by having jobs, you're not going to jail as much. 33% less. 33% less. It's such a dramatic number. But just by working 25 hours a week. And they had a control group, and you can read all about it if you Google what I Googled here. It's like any of these would work, but this is the article about it, you know, the third one down. Like, it's so... This is a 43% reduction in arrests for violent crimes, which is murder, rape, robbery, and aggravated assault. It's dramatic. It is so astronomically huge that by just by a Republican, like the Republican did this, and the Republican Party did this because they care. It's not necessarily the case that they care about black people. Because it's not about that. It's about caring about people, right? Like, and this isn't new. This is from the, January the 5th of this year. Like, it's so astronomically huge, and like they don't care about you. They really don't. Like, here, let's do this, right? And she says she's from the Bronx. She's from the like 16th or 18th richest neighborhood in the United States. She's the definition of the 1%, She doesn't and these guys, the DNC, represents the future of our party. They don't care about black people. They don't. And it might be the case that the Republicans don't care about black people either, but at the very least, this is happening under a Republican. This isn't some holdover from the Obama years. This is Trump policy in action. Just by having a job, like, and this is just a part-time summer job. And look, like, these are poor areas. These are the places that are going to benefit from these jobs. Like, look here. I mean, you can just see it. It's the same thing, in all of these. It's the same. Well, this is not, but you can see it's very much the same. And you can look here. You can, right? Like, it just is. Here's crime rate per capita, and that's pretty damn close. You get this little thing right here, and this. It's. To me, this is such a profound number. Of what was it, 43%? Yeah, 43%. Just by having a part-time job, less than a part-time job, in the summer, and it lasted. That's the other thing too. It lasted for 13 months after the program ended. The program lasted like, what was it, 8 weeks? 8 weeks, 25 hours a week for 8 weeks. Just by doing that. For 13 months, there was a 43% reduction in arrests for violent crimes. Again, statistically no difference. Right, see? And here's the thing, though. there was a control group where they worked for this, and then the other one was 15 hours and 10 hours being taught a better approach to manage their emotions and behavior. And there's like 43% reduction from the control, and then like no difference. It doesn't matter. Just by working, it's so fucking profound to me. Like, and then you juxtapose that with the single parent thing, and you begin to wonder. Well, it's poverty is the big reason for crime, right? And by having a job, it helps you lift you out of crime. And by lifting out of crime, less people go to jail. I'm not saying that all of this, all these dark blue areas, are because of dads going to jail and whatnot, or moms going to jail for doing crime, but it does follow a bit, like just like I said here, like this was considered the most. It's like where child poverty is, right? And as I showed in that PDF, like single parent kids grow up poor, and they continue to be poor as they're adults. And so it's not necessarily the case that Trump is, or Republicans are like looking out for you, right? It's not necessarily the case. But what is the case is that unemployment's falling. For black people specifically, it's the lowest ever. And then, let's see here. Let's do this. Black caucus reacts to lowest black job numbers. All right. And the Black Caucus, well, they're all Democrats. All but maybe one of them. Look, big cheers, applause. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but this guy's clapping a little bit. Nothing. Fucking nothing. Look at that. Nothing. They don't care about you. They just don't. It's disgusting. I know it's real clear politics or whatever, but that happened. You can go watch the whole thing if you want to. And January 30th, and then, you can look at, here's January the 5th. It follows. Anyway, if you're gonna walk away right now, like if you want to walk away, and it's not necessarily about becoming a Republican. It's just about not having fear run your life. Like not being pandered to by corrupt. Like, where even was that? Oh, it doesn't even matter. I'm going to show you. Like, it's not pandering to corruptness. They don't even care about you. They really don't. And you can, you can read this article. You can go to The Hill. Just type in Ocasio-Cortez, DNC chair Ocasio-Cortez, and you can read it. You can listen. Well, you can do it all yourself. It's sick to me that it's, you go back to the whole. Look at this. They don't care. You can vote this way all you want. The numbers aren't going to change. So you can either do yourself a favor and start voting differently. Start voting for the people that actually, man, maybe they don't care about you, but at least they're doing stuff that helps you. Or you can vote for her. That's essentially your choice.